So I'll be talking about the indications and case selection for DMEC, mostly from a beginner's perspective. I have no financial interest in this talk. So to keep it simple, same as DSEC, the indications for DMEC is endothelial dysfunctions. The most common indication that we come across in our country is post-cataract surgery, corneal edema. A good pseudophakia is what you should begin with normal anterior chamber anatomy and IOL in the bag, which behaves, and a round central pupil. Such cases of advanced long-standing PBK DMEC is possible, but it might be better to get it staged, do an epithelial debridement first, improve the visibility, and then as a stage 2 procedure, do the transplant itself. Following tasks, that is a little bit challenging because there is a chance of more increased bleeding, and also the fibrin thread formation might interfere with the graft unfolding. In case of PBK in presence of an ACIOL, DMEC is possible, might be a little daunting for the beginner. However, if you want to do the DMEC in presence of an ACIOL, ensure that the chamber is good, has good depth, there is a stable IOL position, and that the patient had enjoyed a good vision with that ACIOL for a long duration. But if these factors are not present, then better to go for an IOL exchange, maybe a scleral fixated or an iris fixated, retroiris fixated IOL, maybe with the help of your VR colleague. FECT in eastern part of our country, we see a lot of this, quite similar to that of the Western world. These are again very ideal cases for the beginner. And if you are the primary surgeon, nothing like doing a DMEC triple for these case situations. And in case of failed grafts, so if it's a failed DSEC, then doing a DMEC is quite simple. But in cases of failed PK, the initial graft size has to be considered, and also the anatomy of the posterior step, where if there is a lot of steps in the posterior graft host junction, then your DMEC graft might not stick properly. So a DSEC will be better in these situations. In case of previous glaucoma surgery, again, due to the presence of a trabeculectomy or a tube shunt, the air tamponade maintenance is difficult, and the tube itself can cause difficulty in unfolding, and there will be increased endothelial cell loss. Other indications that we encounter are the posterior polymorphous dystrophies, CHED, eye syndromes, and post-viral endothelial decompensations. These again would be moderate to difficult due to the challenging AC anatomy. Contraindicated for beginners would be cases like this, where there is a large vitreous blob in the anterior chamber, extreme levels of scarring, or maybe a very large iridectomy presence where the graft might dislocate posteriorly. So if the visibility is poor, even though the indication is endothelial dysfunction, it's better to go for a full thickness or DSEC in these cases. So if we look at our data and in Disha Eye hospitals, so most common indication is PBK, followed by FECD, this is slightly more than the rest of the country. Then we also do DMEC in a significant number of failed grafts and eye syndrome and post-viral endothelitis. So coming to the workup, so as a beginner, it's always better to maintain your own Excel sheet and a tabulated form of the patients. So it will be better so that you can take a look back at your data once you're doing. So include the diagnosis, record the visual acuity preoperatively, and also the diagnosis in the other eye. So many times in a PBK, endothelial dystrophy in the other eye is often missed. Look at the lens status, because that would determine whether you are going for a triple procedure or only DMEC alone. Look at prior glaucoma surgery and adjust medications accordingly. Any IOP rise that is there has to be considered and started treatment preoperatively. And in case of pseudophakic eyes, look at how the IOL stability is and where the IOL has been implanted. And the other important things in AC anatomy to consider is the pupil. In case of a very large iridectomy scar, might be prudent to do pupilloplasty. And in case there is a vitreous in AC or you're suspecting vitreous in AC, better to have the vitrectomy cutters ready. Pre-op workup includes ultrasound B scan, which includes the retina as well as the optic nerve health status, axial length for biometry, and biometry also from the other eye, anterior segment photography and OCT more for documentation purposes, and then macular OCT if the visibility allows, because in some of these PBK cases, there is always almost a CME present, so you can address it at the time of surgery by giving a subtenon Kenacort injection. So whether to go for a triple or a DMEK alone in case of phakic patients, above 40, it's better to go for a triple procedure, then which avoids the damage to the graft for doing a subsequent phaco. In younger patients, of course, single phakic DMEK is possible, but they should be informed that the cataract formation is usually early due to the surgical manipulation and the postoperative medication itself. In eye syndrome and certain cases of complex AC anatomy, even with younger patients, it is better to do the cataract in the first sitting itself. And the choice of IOL is very important. Always go for hydrophobic with myopia target is there, but not as much as in DSEC. Toric IOLs may be considered in very clean cases of Fuchs, but better to avoid multifocal IOLs. Specular microscopy of the other eye is important in case you want to know if the other eye has any subtle corneal pathology going on there. And also it is sometimes important to give to guard the cataract colleague who has done the primary surgeon, sort of a medical legal implications there. So definitely in our country with such high cataract surgical rates, we have to automatically the byproduct is that we are producing a lot of pseudophakic bullous keratopathies every year. So definitely EK is the way to go about it. And as a natural progression for an EK surgeon, DMEK becomes the next step after doing a DSEC. So the ideal cases for the beginner would be sort of a good pseudophakic bullous keratopathy where the IOL is in place with good anterior chamber anatomy, Fuchs dystrophy, and definitely we should ensure that there is no vitreous in AC and that there are no synechiae present. Thank you very much.